Just do the bet with them and get over it, bathroom boy.
Bite me.
They're ripping you good, dude. I love that. Hey, the question of the day on Facebook. The question of the day on Facebook. And also on Twitter. Okay? The blank will be the first team to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Again, the question of the day on Sports World Radio's Facebook fan page. If you haven't liked it yet, head on over to facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. Like our fan page. Over there, the question of the day is, the blank will be the first team to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Right now, we have a couple of people. One that says the Packers. Somebody says the Broncos. And we talked about this yesterday, Sean. The Chiefs, in a 3-week span, play the Broncos, the Chargers, the Broncos. Week 11, Week 12, and Week 13. The Chiefs get a bye in Week 10. So right before that 3-week span, they get their bye. They play Cleveland this week and Buffalo next week, and then they get their bye. And then they got that Broncos, Chargers, Broncos 3-game set, which is going to really make them or break them in the AFC West, I believe.
Well, right now, if the playoffs started today, the Chiefs would have the number 1 seed, Denver would have number 2, New England would have number 3. And this is going to be important to tell what happens, Jeff, because I know that Denver played an absolutely horrible game in Indianapolis, and the return of Peyton Manning was unbelievable. And now, if you look at it, if Denver stays right with Kansas City and the Chiefs win all their games before the first meeting, I can't wait to see what happens when the two teams play each other. It's going to be really big for the AFC West division between those two teams.
Crazy, huh?
It is crazy, and for Denver, though, just a sloppy game they played on Sunday night.
And you want
to
go ahead.
And for Peyton Manning, there was a lot of mixed emotions, and I think it's so cool that he got a standing ovation. I think he deserved it. He needed it because he did a great job with the Colts. He took them to the playoffs. He won a Super Bowl for them in 2006.
And you want to know something? Indy played a great game. They showed the NFL how to beat Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's defense is terrible, especially their secondary.
Their secondary was way awful on Sunday night. Horrible.
Denver's defense stinks. You gave up 51 points the week before and 36 this week. You stink.
I'm telling you, Denver better be ready to play their game against Kansas City. When I'm taking a look at it right now. The first meeting they have is November 17th, and that will be in Denver.
Right. It's Week 11, Week 12, and Week 13 is that 3-week span. They got Denver, the Chargers, and then Denver again. Okay? The first game is at Denver.
Yep.
Right?
Yep, first game is in Denver between Kansas City and Denver.
Right. So Kansas City could still... You know what? Kansas City could possibly go into Denver after their bye week 9-0. Because they're playing Cleveland this week, Buffalo next week, which will make them 9-0. They got their bye week in Week 10. Week 11, they go to Denver. You're like, how does Jeff know this off the top of his head? Because we were talking about this yesterday. Because some schmuck put out his rankings, right? Some guy on Yahoo, I can't remember the guy's name. Some schmuck on Yahoo Sports put out his rankings in the NFL yesterday and put the Kansas City Chiefs 6th.
I would be trying to eat my words if I said that.
And I was flabbergasted. He put the Seattle Seahawks number 1. I was flabbergasted.
Right now, I put Kansas City at number 1. They're playing like they are. Some of the games they've played have been close, but they've still pulled them out.
Yeah, he put Kansas City number 6. I was flabbergasted. So I ended up screaming and yelling at this guy for 20 minutes. And I wish I can remember this guy's name. I'm going to go and see if I saved that.
Well, the Chiefs, in our opinion, probably a lot of people were saying they weren't going to be probably a 500 team this year, but they're shocking the odds. They're shocking the whole sports world with being 7-0. And now they play Cleveland coming up, and that should be no problem. At Buffalo should be no problem. I predict they go 9-0 before they get ready for Denver. And then when Denver plays them, Denver's going to have to be on their game because, like you said, Jeff, that defense, and I watched part of the game Sunday night, was just sloppy. They couldn't stop Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts.
No, it was ridiculous, wasn't it?
I think Denver is in a lot of trouble if heading into Kansas City when they play against them in Denver, Colorado. And these two games right there will determine who wins the AFC West because it's November 17th, and then December 1st is when they play in Kansas City. And I got to tell you another thing, everybody. I watched the game on Sunday afternoon. I got the Kansas City-Houston game. That place, an Arrowhead Stadium, those Chief fans are back, and it seems like it's been a long time since the Chiefs finally had football back in there after what has been disastrous seasons where they just couldn't win games, and they made the playoffs but always lost. But football's definitely back in Kansas City. My family's telling me about it, too, from Lee Summit, that they really are hearing a lot of rumblings from fans.
I'm sure they are. It's, I'm kind of disappointed I'm not living there right now. You know what I mean? Because they'd be all up inside of that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of nice to watch it from the outside too.
If the Chiefs take the division, Jeff, will you be shocked?
Yeah, because they won 2 games last year, and you got Denver in that division, and right now, that division belongs to Kansas City because of the way Denver played.
Hello?
And are you there? Can you hear me, Sean?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, what are you saying hello for?
I was just, okay, I just didn't know, I couldn't hear you because that broke out a little bit. I was just saying, Chiefs win the division, will you be shocked if it's not Denver?
No, I won't be shocked. Chiefs should win the division right now, but they still got 2 games against Denver, and they still got 2 games against San Diego. So let's hold off on that. Their back end of their schedule, the Chiefs, is rough. Is all pretty much AFC opponents.
Mm-hmm.
It's rough. I mean, you got that 3-week span where you go Broncos, Chargers, Broncos, and then I think if I remember right, they go to Oakland.
Well, I'm looking at it right now. I got their schedule here, Jeff. If you look at it, Broncos, Chargers, Broncos. Then they're at Washington.
Washington, okay.
And then at Oakland.
Right.
And then they host Andrew Luck and the
there
Colts.
You go. Right. Uh-huh.
Then at San Diego, the last game, which is December 29th.
So their back end of their schedule is a killer.
But I'd say this. I also make another prediction. I say they're going to go 9-0, but when the Chiefs get to the playoffs, I say they'll end their playoff losing misery and actually win a playoff game. How far they get is debatable. Can they get all the way to the Super Bowl or get all the way to the AFC Championship game?
Hey, dude.
We'll see, but New England or Denver are going to be tough. Yeah.
Dude, how crazy is it to say that right now the Broncos are going to get in as a wild card? Hello?
Yeah, I really think that's going to be nuts
and
bewildering.
I really need that to happen. If they get in, I want them to get in as a wild card team, so they have to play more games.
Well, you got to remember, last year they were the heavy favorites, the Broncos were, but it ended in a nightmare when they lost against Baltimore in what I called one of the greatest NFL games in NFL history back in January because they had the game won, but Denver made several mistakes in the game. And here's another thing to keep in mind, too. Peyton Manning, it seems like, just doesn't play well in the cold. And I was wondering when he went to Denver, I thought, is that altitude really going to get to him when he plays playoff games? Because the altitude can be very rough for even the Broncos and for the opposition.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when we get there. Hey, let's run to an update.
Okay. I used to live in close to Denver, so I would know, too.
You lived everywhere, dude. What the heck's the matter with you? You're like
True.
me. All right, let's get to an update. This update is brought to you by BuyHuntingEquipment.com. For all your camping, fishing, hiking, and outdoor gear, head on over to BuyHuntingEquipment.com. Christmas is coming. It's right around the corner. Head on over to BuyHuntingEquipment.com and get that Christmas gift for someone that you love. buyhuntingequipment.com. Take it away, Sean, man. The only update of the day.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you, everybody. Welcome to Sports World Radio on this Wednesday, October 23rd, 2013. Currently, we have reached the bottom of the hour. It is 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Let's get everybody caught up on what we got going on in the wide world of sports. In the National Hockey League, it'll be the Ottawa Senators at the Detroit Red Wings and the Boston Bruins at the Buffalo Sabres. So those are the two hockey games coming up tonight. In the NBA, we've got some games going on right now. Exhibition season. The NBA is winding down because the NBA season starts on October 29th. It'll be the Toronto Raptors hosting the Memphis Grizzlies up in Toronto, Ontario. Right now it's 19-14 Toronto. The Brooklyn Nets at the Boston Celtics. Right now it's 16-15 with 2 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in the first quarter. That game, since Jeff is watching it, can be seen on ESPN. The Minnesota Timberwolves at the Philadelphia 76ers. It's 23-21, 2 minutes and 12 seconds left in the first quarter. 1 minute and 49 seconds left. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they lead Washington 27-17. We got other games coming up. The New York Knicks at the Milwaukee Bucks. The Miami Heat at the New Orleans Pelicans. Atlanta Hawks at the Dallas Mavericks. Phoenix Suns at the Denver Nuggets. Chicago Bulls at the Oklahoma City Thunder. Golden State Warriors at the Sacramento Kings. And lastly, it'll be the Utah Jazz at the Los Angeles Clippers. In the NFL, tomorrow it'll be week number 8. It'll be the Carolina Panthers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll be talking more about the NFL when we get back from our break. Well, here we go, everybody. It is the 109th Fall Classic. We've seen a lot of World Series through the years that have had memories that have been either good or bad, and of course it's been great. We're down to the two final teams. It will be Game 1 of the World Series. It'll be the Boston Red Sox, who are the defending American League champions, representing the American League, hosting the team that'll be representing the National League, which will be the St. Louis Cardinals. Right now, the pregame show is on Fox, and that is going on right now. The game and the first pitch, 8:07 p.m. Eastern Time, which will be 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time. And all the World Series can be seen on Fox Sports. That is your update for Sports World Radio on this Wednesday. I'm Sean Mann, your update man. Back to the host of Sports World Radio, Jeff Eskow. Take it away, Jeff.
That update was brought to you by buyhuntingequipment.com. For all your camping, fishing, hiking gear, head on over to buyhuntingequipment.com. Christmas is coming, kids. Don't forget about that one. That one there. Head on over to buyhuntingequipment.com. All right, welcome back to the show. Soma's busting Sean's chops a little bit, having some fun there. Soma's busting my chops a little bit, talking about the freaking Pelicans. Soma, I'm not a Pelican fan. I hope you don't get that wrong, dude. I'm not no Pelican fan. I'm a Knicks fan, dude. In fact, I'm such a Knicks fan, I watched them play Toronto the other night on my computer, Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah, the NBA season tipping off next week. And here's another topic we get to. Before the season began, then another thing that's making headlines as we get to the next topic, the Miami Heat are clear favorites. That's right, clear favorites to win the NBA Finals for a third straight year. And Jeff knows how bad he feels about the Heat.
That's what I think about that.
Everybody's saying Miami is heavy favorites and LeBron James will win another MVP award. Jeff does not even want the Miami Heat to win another NBA championship. He's so sick of them.
Hey, look, Kim Kardashian's ex-husband plays for the Boston Celtics now. How about that there, Sean?
Yeah.
You like that, huh?
I do.
You got some Kim Kardashian on your team now. Huh? How about that? Boston, they look terrible. But it looks like both teams are playing their second and third string teams to see who can make the team.
Yeah, well, it's the new system with Brad Stevens, who's the new coach, and I saw he was interviewed, and he says it's going to be different from going from the college level to the NBA level.